There's different types of moves, like maybe someone's going to just downsize, retirement, things like that, versus like a family moving across country. Are there different methods for decluttering in those two situations? Should they be looking at that differently?
Yes. If you're moving across country, my best opinion is to look at a website like Zillow and kind of see what kind of homes are in the area you're targeting. Then you'll get a feel for the number of rooms, and if there's a family room, a living room, and a dining room, or if you're downsizing either locally or across country, it's incredible how little things will fit in a small house. And being more realistic about that, I've helped seniors move into retirement areas, memory care, even down to studios. And some of those apartments or studios don't even have cooking elements because the individuals can't cook, so they don't need
pots and
pans and things
maybe
like that.
Maybe like a toaster oven and that's it, or microwave or whatever.
Yeah. So see what type of space you're moving into, kind of do a little research, especially if you're downsizing an elder member of your family into a much smaller location. And think about that size. And if you have a hard time figuring out, I have a 10 by 10 family room, mark it on the floor and it's going to give you a bigger visual. Like that large sectional is not going to fit. And so why take it with you, or why try to shove it into a location that's just not going to be big enough? And
what if you're trying to list and you want to declutter but you don't necessarily want to get rid of things? Like, do you recommend those pods or things like that? Or
Right. Stagers will come in and say, you need to take this, and this down. Well, they're your treasured items because they're displayed really nicely and you don't want to get rid of them.
Right.
Pack them up. You can put them in the basement if there's storage area, or in the garage. Those two areas, unfinished basements, they're just more like storage. The garage, a pod, or off-site storage location, just to get them out of your house. Because when you do list your house, you want your house to show as spacious as possible.
Yeah.
And that's the whole part of that staging, right? And when you do pack up, fragile things can go into a heavy-duty box. You can get them at Home Depot, Lowe's, and stuff like that, because you want to have that extra sturdiness with like grandma's heirloom china or something like that.
Like cushion it well.
Right.
Yeah.
And smaller boxes for heavy items like books. But you can certainly start that decluttering process, and with a nod to the staging, you're decluttering but you're not getting rid of.
Right.
So you kind of have decluttering and letting go, and decluttering for appearance.
Got it.
So there are two different ways to declutter.
Sure. And what's so great about you is I know you'll help people with this, because sometimes it's very overwhelming, or you don't know where to start, or you just need like that moral support or someone there with you. So I know we've had clients, I'm thinking of one specific right now, a little bit elderly client, and she was real apprehensive to have the appraiser come in or anyone come in her home. We didn't really know why, but we kind of suspected there was just a lot of things in her home that she maybe was embarrassed of, the condition or whatever. So I know it took you a couple of attempts, but once you were able to make that trust and get in with her, you guys had great success.
Right.
So I think you cleaned out 2 rooms, and what really helped was the appraiser could then get into the home, see those rooms for what they were. It was actually a really nice home, and it appraised well.
Right.
So so how did that, was it like, did you feel like it was a easy process with her once you got in, or was she grateful? Like, how did that feel for her and you?
I do think it was difficult for her to start. And that is the hardest part about decluttering, especially if you have a substantial amount of clutter. And once you get that ball rolling and you start seeing things leave the house, and you start feeling that your house start to feel lighter and brighter, you start to feel lighter and brighter. And all of a sudden, instead of, looking in a room and feeling sadness or, overwhelm, you open the door and you're like, oh my gosh, I can walk in this room and it can function. Yeah, it is amazing. It's a snowball effect.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's hard to get that snowball going, but once you do, it just grows and grows. And I can literally see my clients' shoulders just relaxing, because they can feel better in their home.
That's so great. So if you have either yourself or someone you know, or a realtor that you have a client that needs help with this kind of thing, Beth is amazing. She obviously loves doing this. It's her passion. I mean, how many people love to organize? But she does. And she can help you. Even if you just have questions, reach out. But she's a great asset. And we're so thankful to have you here today, Beth.
Well, thank you
so much.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thanks for coming in.